Andor Season 2 special look has just dropped, and it's been less than a week since the first trailer appeared. I thought that was good, but this is even better. So let's go take a look through this together. We start off with a shot of Clea. She seems to be working the spy gear in Luthen's workshop. And then they cut to this speeder landing and wonder if this is Mothma coming to see Luthen. And then we move to this incredible shot. Now we saw this place a lot in the first trailer, suspected that it was probably Gorman. That's been confirmed now. We see the Imperial security troopers again here with their shock batons and riot shields. The way these guys are dressed and all the berets, it makes me think that they've gone for a French Revolutionary kind of feel to this. We see Syril is in the crowd here and we see him in the building in the first trailer, so we know he plays an important role here somewhere. Syril just seems to be one of those characters who keeps turning up in the wrong place at the wrong time. The now obligatory characters walking in stunning location shots. And now we're back to something that featured very heavily in the first trailer. It's this TIE Avenger. If you're curious about this TIE fighter, I've just done a whole video on it, so I'll leave a link to that at the end of this one. Maybe give that a watch next. Back to Andor in his hotel room on Gorman. We can tell this is Gorman. If you look out the window there, you can see those customary pillars. And it looks like he's got some kind of rifle, and that was probably what was in that bag we saw him with in the first trailer. Similar scene to the first trailer, Andor arriving in his fancy gear. Pair of X-Wings escorting some kind of transport here on Yavin 4. Now we have Clea here pressing some kind of button with an explosion going off on Gorman. Now I wonder if these two scenes are unrelated and this is some kind of a misdirect. I don't think we've seen anything of Clea being here on Gorman. In fact, I think Gorman's going to be some kind of false flag operation. Back to the aggro planet we saw a lot of in the first trailer now. And this is Brasso. He seems to have been detained by these stormtroopers. We also have two people here who look like they're in some kind of brownish uniform. I wonder if they're a new form of Imperial trooper, or perhaps they're some kind of local security. And it seems like Brasso runs away and grabs himself a speeder bike. Over to Saw's partisans now, and this is the two Duke brothers, and the Cavern Angel X-Wing in the background, and that transport which I think some people have misidentified in the first trailer. And a lot of people speculate on that first trailer, and it looks like it's likely here that this is the car, the same world that we see the Resistance have a base on in the sequels. Less said about the sequels, the better. In the first trailer we saw this scene of Krennic looking out of this window, but now we see this from behind. We can see he's with Dedra. You may remember I was really shocked at how little Dedra appeared in the first trailer. I'm pleased to say she's in this one a lot more. Who knows what diabolical scheme these two are cooking up. Next we get this wonderful beauty shot of what I think could be Chandrila. It's one of the most important worlds in Star Wars lore, so I hope we get to see quite a bit of it in this series. And we get a much brighter look at the Sinar Systems test facility, and of course the TIE Avenger. Now we enter a sequence with some making of clips, and this one shows a very young looking Saw Gerrera. Then we have this intriguing clip with Dedra in civilian clothes meeting Syril's mum. Can you imagine these two meeting? That's going to be really interesting. It would appear Major Partagaz hasn't been held responsible for the disaster on Ferrix, as we see him back here with his rank still intact. Another Avenger shot, and we can see how sophisticated the cockpit is and these amazing drop-down Gatling cannons. Syril now arriving at Gorman, and he seems to be entering this room with the security droids. I wonder if one of these is Kay. A section of clips we already saw in trailer 1, including this one of Big shooting the security guard. And this time we have a little bit of dialogue with the scene. And then we have this lovely shot of the U-Wing flanked by two X-Wings. Do you think this is Cassian, or do you think this could be Saw and the Cavern Angels? In this sequence of exterior shots, I noticed this clip of Mon. The thing that catches my eye here is the corridor outside the elevator she's in matches one we saw Cassian walking down in trailer 1. One of my viewers from the first video pointed out this could be Cassian going to extract Mon from the Imperial Senate. Another sequence of beauty shots, and amongst this I noticed the U-Wing again. Could this be Cassian taking Mon to Chandrila? And we get this gorgeous exterior shot of Gorman. I wonder if this could be after the massacre, because we can see a building burning in the background, and we can see what looks like the barricades and the stormtroopers outside the government building. Or are those stains on the concrete floor? Perhaps. Yet more shots of the situation on Gorman. At this time we have a clip of Dedra. Do you think she's involved in this massacre? Or do you think this could be another misdirect? After the disaster on Ferrix, surely she wouldn't make the same mistake twice, would she? I notice here some of these Imperial security troopers have traded their batons for rifles. And if you play Star Wars Legion like me, are you going to be painting your barricades just like this? I know I am. And again we see Cassian lurking in the crowd. And we get to see some of the cool aliens from Saw's partisans from Rogue One. And the scene with Saw talking to this technician that was clearly the scene we saw at the end of the first trailer. Back to Brasso on the aggro planet, and this time we get to see B. The character running through the cornfield I think is Wilmon, the bomb maker from Season 1. This is Krennic at the ISB headquarters that was used in a lot of the promotional photos. And another shot of these great looking new Imperial troopers. I made a whole video about this, so if you're curious about those guys, definitely give that a watch. Another sequence of quickfire clips, with another look at Bix having that fight scene on the aggro world. Back to Cassian in the Avenger, and he seems to be arriving at the aggro world here. In the first video I speculated that the world he steals the fighter from isn't the same one as the aggro world. And if we look behind the tyre we can see that there looks to be a Star Destroyer in orbit. Once again the similarities to Lothal are very clear. Another scene from Gorman. Is this Wilmon the bomb maker again? And this great clip of what I'm guessing is Kay hitting one of these new Imperial troopers. And just a couple more quick fire clips, including another quick look at B. Another shot of Luthen. Is he attending Mon's daughter's wedding perhaps? Krennic in dress uniform with some of the other officers from the ISB. And Davo from Season 1. You gotta watch out for him, he's a right dodgy banker. And our final shot is once again Cassian stealing the Avenger. And in the first video I mentioned I thought the fact that the planet he steals the Avenger from looked to be dark and rocky outside and not the aggro world we see him in the ship later. I speculated he steals the ship from one planet and takes it somewhere else. This looks to be confirmed here. Now the only world I can think of that looks like this. Could this be Edu? Of course we know from Rogue One that is indeed an Imperial test facility. That would be a really interesting twist when watching Rogue One to know that Cassian had already been to that planet. As always, a massive thank you for joining me for another video. Really appreciate your time. Don't forget to smash the like button on the way out. And if you haven't seen my other Andor videos, I'll leave them here for you to watch next. Once again, thanks for watching.